My camera's really like out of focus today, so if it just starts like doing this in the middle of the video, I'm sorry, I can't control it. What is up, guys? Today I don't have much to say as an intro. Basically, after writing several novels, I've figured out my process and been able to break up my personal ups and downs into 10 stages. If you're looking for a video that's going to give you the 10 easy steps to write a book, that is not this video. In fact, that video does not exist because writing a book is a hard process. Nice try though. But if you've written a novel, you get that there's a typical process that occurs. And I thought that I would try to put this strange and complicated process into words. Now I understand that no two authors have the exact same process of creation, so I will be generalizing a bit much. But my bet is that you'll still relate to some of this. So here we go, the 10 stages of writing a book. We're going to be using our handy dandy happiness meter to help us out along the way. Number 1, idea realized. This is when you get the idea in the first place. Those two ideas that have been bouncing around in your head for weeks collide and you have an idea. Here I'm going to rank our happiness meter at a solid 10. This book is going to change the world. It's going to solve hunger, create world peace. This book is your new baby, except it's better than a baby because it doesn't take disgusting shits. Number 2, brainstorming on every piece of paper you have. Here, you're not really writing the book yet. You're still in the process of figuring out who these characters are and why they're in your world. We're going to rank happiness at an 8. You're not into the actual writing process, so you're not depressed yet, but you're starting to realize that these worlds aren't going to look as good on paper as they did in your head. Yet the optimism is still there. This book is going to be great. Number 3, the moment when you finally begin the first draft. You are at the pivotal moment of starting that book. You stare at the blank piece of paper and realize that it's not gonna be easy. No shit, Sherlock! But most likely, you still have a basic idea of how the book's gonna start, so starting it's not that hard. We'll rank happiness at a 7 here. Number 4, you come back every few days and just stare at it. You're stuck. Congratulations, your time in the high ranks of happiness are over. We're now gonna put you down in the 4 range. You really want to continue it and you believe that it can be continued. You just don't know how. The reality of the situation is hitting you hard, and you realize how much time and energy it's going to take to finish this book. You are, however, writing 100 words or so every few days, hoping that the book will write itself to a more interesting point so you can feel excited about your story. This is also the stage when you just contemplate writing the interesting parts and then coming back and adding the in-between parts later. And I don't know, I've never actually tried it, maybe you have, but I've just thought about doing it at this stage in the process. Number 5, giving up. You've given up entirely. Nice going. My guess is that you have 4 or so chapters written down on paper, but writing any more just makes your brain hurt. That's okay, better luck with the next project, my friend. Happiness level now is at a 2. Maybe you didn't write the next great American novel, but at least you didn't waste your time writing a crappy one. Number 6, renewed excitement and an intense writing streak. Oops, you've decided you wanted to waste your time. It's been a month, and you've nearly forgotten about those 4 chapters that you set aside so long ago, and you'll probably rewrite those 4 chapters before continuing with the rest of the story. It's usually at this part of the writing journey that I create an actual concrete outline for my story. This is a pivotal moment because you're excited, you're revved up again, and you are so ready to do whatever it takes to finish your story. Happiness is at a 6 because even though it's going to be hard, you have hope for the first time since you wrote those first words. Number 7, pushing through. You're on chapter 38 out of 50, and good lord, you are done with this. If you have a time limit, either self-imposed or given to you by a third party, you're now wishing that that time limit could be pushed way out in the distance. You just really need a vacation right now. But the end is nigh, and you can see it now. You want it. Your happiness level is at a 3 here as you trudge through the trenches of your novel, hanging on to those final words that you can't wait to tack on the end. Step 8. Glory! You're done! You have finished the novel! We're gonna bump you all the way up to a level 9 on the happiness scale. Give yourself a nice bubble bath. Treat yourself to a slice or 2 or 20 of that cake. You deserve it. You have earned every crumb. There's a dark cloud forming in the back of your mind, nagging you about what's to come, but you do your best to push it out and just kind of revel in what you've done. Step number 9, embarrassment. During this step, you go from a solid 9 to a solid 1, or lower. This happens when you flip or scroll back through your novel and realize that it's absolute trash. an utter dumpster fire. The plot makes no sense, the characters are all over the place, and your last 5 chapters could squeeze in the space of one of your normal chapters because you were just so ready to get that shit over with. The biggest problem here isn't even the 80,000 words of trash that you now possess. It's the fact that you spent months compiling that trash heap. And finally, step number 10, acceptance. This is when you wander the internet looking for reassurance and realize that all first drafts are trash. They're all dumpster fires. But it's okay because the editing process is always there to help you out. Like the stages of grief, you have now ended on acceptance. You realize that your book is trash, but that your book's life is not over, or your life for that matter. Happiness is now at a 5. Equal parts proud of yourself for what you've done, and very, very stressed out about what's to come. Now, why is any of this relevant? Why does this video make any difference in your writing journey? Despite what you might be thinking, I did not make this video because I was bored. I made this video because I needed a confidence boost, and I thought maybe some of you out there do as well. You might have noticed that the only stage I deemed a 10 on the happiness scale was the very first stage, for obvious reasons. This idea is brand new and you're excited. Like I've said before, your book is like your baby, and when you first have a baby, you're elated. You cannot wait to see what's in this baby's future. I'm assuming. I've never actually had a kid, of course. When that child grows, you have to deal with a toddler, and then a child, and then, good God, the teenage years. Most of the books you raise will be absolute garbage. Maybe they'll live off Cheeto Puffs in your basement, or maybe they'll end up dealing drugs and going to jail. Is that cynical? But some books will grow up to be successful and make you proud, and you'll tell all your book babies that you love them equally, even though that's not true. So my point is, whatever stage your book is in, don't give up on it. Sure, a lot of your books are going to turn into inmates, but some of them are going to kill the game of life. They could even get published, you don't know. So even though steps 2 through 10 aren't as fun, they are essential. And if you ever want to be a published author, there are other steps afterwards, including editing, possible querying, that are even less fun than the writing, but those are essential too. What I'm trying to say is that you don't always have to be at a happiness level 10. Some people try to paint writing like it's an enjoyable activity, and if you're not enjoying it, you're doing it wrong. But that's not always true. Writing is still hard, and you're going to have to put yourself through weeks and months and years of sadness and torture in order to finish your book and maybe get it published. And there's nothing wrong with that. Just be glad that you have the resources and the time in order to write a book in the first place, and then maybe being at happiness level 1 sometimes won't be so bad. And that's it. I hope you guys found this weird motivational speech helpful and that you found the video pretty accurate. I'm currently on stage 4 of a new book and trying to push through, so I just have to keep reminding myself that I'm going to feel better later if I just write the damn book. Comment down below on what stage of a book you're in right now, and I will happily give my condolences. If you guys didn't watch my last video, which you should have, you probably don't know about my reviewing your stories video. Send me a 5,000 word or less writing sample of whatever you want. It can be part of a novel, a short story, a poem, whatever, before June 1st, and you have a very good chance of being in my video. I'm going to be giving a broad, honest review in the video itself, and then I'm going to be sending you a full review of almost every line. This is a great opportunity for writers who want to connect with other writers, and you can give me whatever info about your writing, about your social media, and I will put that in the video as well. Send them to me over Wattpad, Twitter, DM, or email. All the links are down below. Just make sure to do it before June 1st. No, I'm not a writing guru, but I am a member of almost every target audience, and I'm in writing classes, so I know the basic mechanics of writing, and I'm very good at grammar, so you should listen to me. And until next time, may the gods of plot be ever on your side. But my bet is that you'll still relate to some of this. So here we go, the 10 stages to writing a book. To writing is not a word. So even though steps 2 through 10, so even though steps 2 through 10 aren't as essential, no, they are. And I decided that I would, oh, we went blurry. This is when you get the idea in the first place. Yet the optimism is still there. This book is gonna be great. Usually for me it's a, but most likely you have, focus. Hey guys, I just wrote on my closet door in dry erase marker. My day's going great. My day's going excellently.